This is our fifth essay by Francis Bacon of marriage and single life. We have seen point 1, great works of importance have been done by childless people. Best works. Second, we saw those with children have great care for the future because they have concern for their children. Third one we saw, that is, people remain single because they think that future is irrelevant for them. So these are the 3 points that we have seen. Best works, useful, great contributions have been made by childless people. Second, that people with children, they have got concern for future. And third, people who remain single, one of the main reasons is that they consider future impertinent. Impertinent means irrelevant. Now we continue, why do people like to lead a single life? Some of these causes are very interesting. Well, sentence 8 says, but the most ordinary cause of single life is liberty. See, if you are alone, so nobody will check your life, nobody will control, you have got full freedom. So some people like to be free from birth to death. So that's the reason. But the most ordinary cause of single life is liberty. Ordinary cause. Don't go in for philosophical, theological or cultural reasons, but everybody's reasons also we can say. Can apply to everybody. Especially in some self-pleasing and humorous, which are so sensible of every restraint, every limitations or every restraint, means hindrance, every hindrance, as they will go near to think their girdles and garters to be bonds and shackles. So there are some people who, for them, everything is a hindrance. For example, the spectacle is a hindrance for some people. Shirt is a hindrance. So like the girdles and garters is part of the dress. See, girdle means belt, garters means a kind of a band that is used for fixing the top part of the socks. So the socks will come down like this one. So to fix it, they wrap a band around it. So that we don't use these things here, but in Europe they do it. So girdles and garters. That means, say for example, if you say your shirt and your pants is a problem for you, because part of your dress is it. So some people are like that. But the most ordinary cause of single life is liberty, especially in some self-pleasing and humorous people. Self-pleasing, they are very happy about themselves. They don't want anybody's support. They don't want anybody's remarks or comments or any such thing, or encouragement and so on. So they are self-pleasing, and which are so sensible, and they are very sensitive. Sensible here, they are very sensitive. Even they are sensitive about their spectacles or their shirt. They think that their spectacles, their shirt, their books and all those things are obstacles for them. Bonds. Bonds means that which restricts. Bond and shackles. Bonds and shackles. Chain. Shackles means chain. Manacles. Chain. So according to such people, even a spectacle or a shirt is a bond for them. That means something that prevents or something that takes away their liberty. There are some such people. Okay. Unmarried men are best friends, best masters, best servants, but not always the best subjects. Why unmarried men are best masters, best servants and best friends? Because they are free. If you have got an unmarried friend, then wherever you call, whenever you call him to whatever place, he will come. Because there is no restriction, no wife and children. They are best masters. They can spend their time, say, at masters, principals, or bank managers and so on. If they are unmarried, what will that will be their dormitory also. Their office will be their dormitory also. And the dormitory means sleeping place also. So they can spend 24 hours there. Because nobody will question them. Best servants, same. They did not go back home at the end of the day. They can remain here and they serve. But not always best subjects. Subjects here means subordinate workers. They are not. Subordinates, no. Why? Because since if as your subordinate is a free person, well, he will be free to run away at any day. That's the reason. So that's what he says. So they are light to run away. Light means they have nothing to carry with them, nothing to bother them. That is light means, not a torch or a bulb, no. They are light means they carry very small things with them. They have got maybe a small bag or something like that. So with that they can run away anytime. So they travel light, they move light, they live light. Light here means opposite of heavy. So they are light to run away, and almost all fugitives means people who run away from one place to another. Rolling stones. There's a famous proverb, no? Rolling stones gathers no moss. So they are fugitives and of that condition. If your subordinate is an unmarried person, today for 5 days he will work here, then he will leave you and go and live with another person. I like that. He will never take up a permanent job. So that is the problem. When you can see, when you have got you doctors, when they go to hospitals for in search of job, the managers will ask, are you married? Do you have got wife? Is your wife a doctor? If you are husband and wife doctor, then they are pleased because they are sure that they will settle down there and they will be together working in that hospital. But on the other hand, if the person is a single person and he is unmarried, then there is every possibility that when he gets a better chance, he will run away from that. In this case, he cannot do like that because he has got his family, his children, education of his children, and so on. So that is what he says. A single life doth well to churchmen. Churchmen means priests. For charity will hardly water the ground where it must first full a pool. So charity means doing things for others. Suppose you are a family person, you have got a wife and husband, then what will, wife and, yes, you have a wife and children, then what will happen? Your money, your savings have to be spent for them. Then you have got very little left to look after others, charity. So here he has used a very beautiful comparison, something we rarely meet in Bacon. He says that, see the point, for charity will hardly water the ground, where it must first fill a pool. Charity is compared to water. If you don't have water to fill the pool, then how can you take water from the pool and irrigate your lands or water the ground? First you should have enough for you. Only then you will be able to share the remaining with others. If your needs are not satisfied, if your needs you cannot satisfy, then how can you satisfy the needs of others? That is not possible. So that is what is meant by saying, it's a very beautiful comparison I said. For charity will hardly water the ground. Means you cannot enter into works of charity if you don't have enough money to satisfy yourself, your needs. That's the point. Then it is indifferent for judges and magistrates. What is indifferent? That is a single life. A single life doth well with churchmen, but a single life is indifferent for judges and magistrates. For if they be facile means easily pleased and corrupt by taking bribes, you shall have a servant 5 times worse than a wife. See, you are a magistrate, and somebody has to, some person has to get some favor done by the magistrate. What will you do first? First he will go and negotiate it with this magistrate's wife. If magistrate does not have a wife, or magistrate or other person speaks about judges or judges, magistrates and so on, what happens is that if he is facile, see that is, they be facile. Facile means easily to be pleased by taking gifts, and Bacon himself used to take bribes, see that, and he was caught for that. And he facile and corrupt. Suppose you are corrupt, the judge is corrupt, the magistrate is corrupt, then what will happen? His wife also will be corrupt a little bit. And suppose you have no wife, you are only a servant, your servant will be 5 times, that's what he says. The servant shall have a servant 5 times worse than a wife. Suppose the wife is 1% corrupt, then the servant will be 5% corrupt. If wife is 10% corrupt, then if it is your husband, the servant, he will be 50% corrupt. That way. So it is things he think according to Bacon, he says magistrates, and it means you can have or need not have. If you have, then there is slight advantage. If you don't have, then your servant will be a corrupt person, 10 times more corrupt than you yourself or your wife. And 12 says the same point there he is discussing. For soldiers, I find the generals commonly in their hortatives. Hortatives means encouragements. That's do this, do that. You are a wonderful person and so on. Hortatives. So encouraging, encourage to do something. Exhorting, we said. Appeal. So for soldiers, I find the generals commonly in their hortatives put men in mind of their wives and children. So when the generals say appeal to them to do some action, strong appeal to them to do some action, then he will say, remember your wives and children. If you do well here, then you will be rewarded, and that will be useful to them also. If you go bad, then you will be punished, and this punishment will definitely have effect on your wives and children. So then the soldiers will say, yes, we will do good things, or we will do acts of bravery or courage and so on, so that it will be a plus point, or it will be an encouragement for our family members also. Understand? So that is the point. And I think the despising of marriage among Turks, they despise, may look down upon, or they don't give importance or consider the value of married life. The Turks do not give value to married life. They despise married life, make the vulgar soldier more base. So if you are not married, it says, according to the Turks, they look down upon marriage. They don't like getting married. Then he says, in such cases, what will happen? If you are a vulgar soldier, already vulgar, then you will become more base. Means, if you are vulgar, say 1% vulgar, then if you are not married, you will become 5% or 10% vulgar. So that way it will be. Understand? So, in the case of soldiers, he advocates marriage and family life. In the case of magistrates and judges, say he is indifferent. You can have, or it is an option. But if you marry, it's better because your wife will have a control over you. But if you endorse these corrupt practices with your servants, they will become 5 times more corrupt than you. Understand? And then another point that is for churchmen, there is priests. It is always good to remain unmarried because they can do works of charity. Whatever money they get, whatever gifts they get, they can distribute among the poor. So churchmen, single life is preferred. And we began this section by the most ordinary cause of remaining bachelor or unmarried, chronic bachelor or happy bachelor is liberty. There are such people who think that parts of their dress even are hindrance to them. They consider the parts of their dress, items of their dress as chains, manacles and also bonds. So for them it is better to remain single, unmarried. So once again, those people who consider even items of their dress as a problem or something that hurts their liberty,